Hi, my name is Nikki. I'm a client service specialist at Pain Free Dental Marketing. We are going to look at Facebook ad metrics. Facebook ad metrics take the guessing game out of what ads are doing well. It helps us look at key performance indicators, KPIs for short, to understand what ads are really driving traffic and ultimately getting cheeks and seats. We're going to look at a couple different metrics to understand what ads are performing best. They will help us better target our audience, calculate our return on investment, and also eliminate the guessing game. To get started, navigate to your campaign, the particular ad set that you want to look at, and then look at the ads for that ad set by clicking on this tab. There are a few KPIs that we want to look at. These are a few KPIs, but let's break them down to the specific ones that we want to see. To do that, let's click on this first drop-down menu, and then go down to Customize Columns. I'm going to uncheck all of these boxes, and then only check the ones that I want to analyze. So we want to look at results, reach, frequency, impressions, clicks, cost per click, click-through rate, cost per result, and once I've selected all of those, I'll hit apply. Now you'll notice these columns are customized to the KPIs I want to analyze for this ad set. So let's break it down. I'm going to start by explaining what each one of these columns means. Results. The results metric refers to the number of times your ad achieved an outcome based on the objective and settings you've selected for your campaign. For example, if your objective is to generate traffic to your website, this metric shows how many times that was achieved. So in this case, we can see this first ad generated 13 clicks through to your website. Cost per result correlates with results. So, depending on how much you've spent on the campaign, divided by the number of results, shows the cost per link click. So this first ad, for every time somebody clicked on the link and went to your website, they spent 64 cents. If we're looking at this metric, we can see that the new patient ad, single image, had the best cost per result. Therefore, these were the cheapest link clicks. Next, we'll look at reach. This metric refers to how many people saw your ad, but it's not to be confused with impressions. Impressions are how many times your ad was seen. So, an individual may have seen your ad more than once. Frequency can explain this. Frequency tells us how many times a single user has seen your ad on average. In this case, we can see that the veneers ad has the highest frequency. This means that out of this ad set, users were more likely to see this ad the most. Frequency is something that you want to make sure you find the right balance between budget and audience size. You want to make sure that the users in your area that are seeing your ads aren't becoming bored by seeing the same ad over and over and over again. But you also want to make sure that your ad is being shown enough to where a user can recall your brand. If you find that your frequency is too high, let's say for an example, somebody is seeing on average your ad more than 10 times, what you'll want to do is making sure you are finding the right balance between budget and audience size. If you have a large ad budget, but your target audience is too small, the same people will begin to see your ad too many times, which can become irritating to potential patients. If you have a large budget, you can increase the audience size if you see a high frequency. It's important to monitor this number to make sure it's not too high. Watch to see if frequency is increasing, but make sure that your click-through rate remains healthy. What I mean by that is if you aren't achieving your intended goal of getting enough clicks through to your website, for example, then you'll want to monitor and make changes. You can make these changes in the design of your ad, for example, the title, description, or picture, or completely stop the campaign and recreate a new one with a new target audience. On this column, we see clicks. These clicks can mean any type of interaction a user is taking with your ad, whether they're clicking through to your profile, enlarging an image, liking, commenting, reacting, sharing, or clicking through to the link. We can see that the new patient ad has the highest rate of clicks. This next column shows cost per click. So, for each user that is clicking through on your ad, how much does it cost for them to make that click? We want to see this be a low number, so we can see that this third ad is performing very well. The click-through rate, CTR, indicates how many link clicks you've achieved on your ad compared to how many impressions your ad has received. In other words, this metric presents the percentage of individuals who click on the ad out of all individuals who have seen the ad. You can calculate this by dividing the number of link clicks by the number of impressions. A high CTR means your ad quality and targeting is achieving what it should, but a low CTR is something that you would want to change. The industry average is typically 0.8 to 1%. At Pain-Free Dental Marketing, our portfolio average is about 2%. You want to make sure your click-through rate is about 1 to 2%. In that case, we can see that these first two ads have a healthy click-through rate. This third ad has an exceptional click-through rate, and these last two ads we may even consider turning off because the click-through rate is so low. If you're noticing that you don't have a healthy click-through rate and you want to do something about it, some of the changes that I suggest are adjusting where your ad should show. So let's edit this ad and I can show you what I'm talking about. If you scroll down after clicking on the ad, you can see different placements. I would suggest sticking with newsfeed ads on the desktop. So removing them from stories by clicking this pencil to edit, clicking this drop down. In order to change your ad placement, when you create a new ad, you would go to the placements, make sure they aren't available on stories, and they aren't available here on right column, search results, and instant articles. Instead, focus on the feed placements. Additionally, to combat low CTR, speak directly to your target audience. For example, your ad might say, dental implants can be life-changing, but you want to speak more directly to your audience dental implants can change your life. See the difference? My next suggestion is making sure your image pops out on the newsfeed. Part of the reason why this ad is performing so well is because it's a great photo of the office. It shows the team smiling, happy, and it's attention grabbing. It's performing much better than this stock photo is. So keep that in mind when choosing the imagery of your ads or choosing to change the imagery of your ads. You want to make sure you focus on using less stock photography and photos that show off your team and your team culture. My last suggestion for improving your click-through rate is changing your call to action button. If you scroll down under the call to action section, you can hit this drop down and choose a different call to action. You can play around and select different call to actions to see which ones work best. What we suggest is the contact us and learn more call to action buttons. But you can play around with other call to actions to see how they perform in your ads. After taking a look at each one of these metrics, what I can understand is that these are 2 low performing ads. I would keep these 3. If you click on a particular column, you can organize your ads with the highest results down to the lowest. Let's click on reach. We'll see the ads with the highest reach down to those with the lowest reach. The same applies for the rest of the columns. Simply click on the KPI and watch your ads go into ascending order. We hope this was helpful, and we can't wait to see how this benefits your practice.